we had a good old look around, and it was about 10 to 10, and the sale was starting at 10 o'clock. So they put up the rope, and they asked us all to leave and put up the rope, and then finished putting all the prices and everything on. And then they let the rope down, and Brian was like, "Jump it, run, get to the chickens." There's like 20 people there maximum, and 100 odd cages. But yes, it was likely that the one that I wanted was going to be sold, because that was just going to be the way. So I had put down a backup cage just in case, and I got the chicken cage just as, and I swear it was someone that was working there, because I don't know how he got there, how he got in front of me, slipped out the card of the one that I wanted, and I was like, damn it, damn. Anyway, I then said to Brian, look, it's between these two here, these ones or these ones. And he watched them, and he watched them interacting with each other, and just very small details, and he made up his mind pretty strongly that he knew which two to get. So he chose the Morans, and so we took the card and we went down and we joined the queue. And I left him in the queue, and I went to have a look at the ducks, because I really do want a couple of ducks. And there were these two little cuties. I think they're called Peking ducks as well. They're like tiny little things. They weren't quite as pretty as the ones that I saw in the summer. They had some colour on them, but the ones that I saw at the show on Sunday were completely and utterly white, and they were just tiny little ducks. Anyway, I went back to the queue, and Brian was there, and I said to him, "Oh, can we get the ducks? Can we do-" No. Anyway, there was a lady in front of us. She had about 20 cards in her hands. She was seriously wanting chickens, and quite a number of them as well. And she said that she had ducks, and the ones that I had picked were noisy ones. So probably a good idea I didn't get them. Anyway, we were stood in the queue, and we were going to be next. The lady in front of us was purchasing her, I don't know, I have no idea. It was well over £100 worth of chickens. I just kept looking across from the side of us. There were these two beautiful laced Orpingtons. So they're sort of like a deep red ginger with a black lacing round each feather. And I kept pointing them out to Brian and saying, "Well, please. And he kept saying, no. Because he's got the sensible head on, because let's face it, I would probably bought half the thing if I had been there on my own. And I was going, please. I was really begging. I was like this little schoolgirl begging for ice cream or a toy or something like that. I was like, please. And then one time when I said it, his reaction was different. And I was like, what did you say? What did you say? And he went, yeah. And I was like, really? And I squealed. I squealed in my joy. And the people beyond him, they just giggled. They all burst out into a little giggle. They'd clearly been watching what was going on. And I shot And I was like 5 steps away from the side of the cage, and I scored yes, and I ran and I grabbed the card out and I came back again, and I think quite a few people in the queue around me giggled because of my reaction, but I was very, very pleased. So and then after we had purchased those, Brian actually wanted to have a good old nose around watching my show. So I asked if we could just go and have a look at the other animals first of all. And I found out you can milk pygmy goats. I'd always been told you couldn't milk pygmy goats. So I was talking to this lovely lady. I want to say her name's Caroline. It's not Caroline. It's Christine. Pretty sure it was Christine. I've got a card. She's not the secretary. She's the pygmy boat. She's the pygmy boat. She's the pygmy goat lady of the Kent Smallholders Association. I'm pretty sure her name was Christine. Anyway, she was talking to me about her pygmy goats, and I love the Toggenburgs, and she's got a Toggenburg with long coat as well. I've not had a Toggenburg with a long coat. Just typical, isn't it? I haven't got my glasses on, but the Facebook alert just came through my phone, making more noise than anything else in the room. And I'm meant to be trying to get back to sleep again. Oh, I don't stand a chance. I normally just stay awake for like 2 or 3 hours. Catch up with the bad bed. Surf the net. Listen to some YouTube. And then fall back asleep again. I'm going to try and get to sleep again in a minute. Probably to a bit of YouTube. Anyway, so yeah, I found out that you can milk pygmy goats. Because I'm not quite sure. I mean, I do have room here for Toggenburgs. Without a doubt, I have room here for a couple of Toggenburgs. But pygmies are so damn cute. They're so cute and they're so pretty, and they come in so many different pretty colours. They're just so adorable, and I really, 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 really want one, 2 or more. And I really wanted to buy one that I saw last year. Either last year or earlier on this year. Oh, sorry, Simba. Kicked him again. Yeah, and I convinced myself out of buying it because I thought, oh, what's the point? If I can't milk it, it's just going to be another pet. I need a pet I can milk. And I do love the Toggenburgs. But now I might be able to get pygmies next year. Watch this space. Anyway, back to the chickens. So we got 2 copper morans that will lay chocolate-coloured eggs, and 2 beautiful big laced Orpingtons, and brought them back and put them in the coop. My girls were already out foraging, so they hadn't laid their eggs for the day. So I but I thought, well, they'll go back and they'll lay their eggs. So I put the new girls into the coop, shut up the coop, shut up the run, because the run's been open for ages. We just don't really use the run anymore. They get into the coop at night. I lock the coop up and open up the coop in the morning, and they come through the run and out into their big run. So we don't really use that anymore. So I just locked it up, so that when they decided to come out, the newbies decided to come out of the coop, they would have a bit of a run that they could go around in. So I did that. And so all of Saturday, they were out in that run, in the small run, and I closed them off from the coop once they were all out of the coop, and opened up the back of the coop, and two of my older original girls went in the back way into the coop and laid eggs. But they weren't that chuffed about the fact they had to go in the back way. Had to go in the back door. They didn't like that at all. But they did it, and they laid a couple of eggs. I don't think Blue laid that day. It doesn't take much to upset Blue. If you change the layout of the large movable run, if I change that, if I like cut off the vegetable patch because I'm planting new things and I don't want them to eat them or kick them up or whatever, she won't lay for a day because she's unhappy because I've changed things. So yeah, that sorted out last night, and then yesterday, and then in the evening, my girls wanted to get into the coop and into the coop and go to sleep. So they went back in through the back door and they jumped in and they settled in, and I locked them in, and then I opened up the front door, hoping that the newbies would then go in. And so then I went out to check up on them later, and the two Orpingtons, one was sat in the doorway itself, and the other was sat on the ladder behind it. So I just gave them a little bit of a nudge and nudged them into the box, to the coop. But the Morans were underneath the coop on the ground. So got Brian to bring out the torch, and I got into the coop and I crawled all the way along the coop run, and I got them around. I mean, it was dark, so they were sort of like half asleep. So I got them and I picked them up and I put them into the coop one at a time, and then locked the coop door, and they all just slept happily last night. And then this morning I got up, eager, and I opened up and I waited and I waited and I waited. My girls were straight. The original girls, they were straight out. Like, we're off. We do the routine. We're going off and we're going to do some foraging and find ourselves some nice juicy big worms to eat for the day. So they were off and about. That's how Blue talks. The two ex-battery. I'm sure they're more like your street girl voices, probably East London, something like that. I don't know. I have no idea. they just, they're a little bit tougher. They rule the roost. They still rule the roost. So I was watching the Morans and the Orpingtons. They were not keen to come out of the run. They were just finding their feet into the run, and they didn't want to go far from the coop. And the Morans were really bossing the Orpingtons around. The Orpingtons are like big, soft, gentle giants. They're twice the size of any of the other chickens, normal sized chickens. And the Morans, they're French ladies. Apparently, they got shipped in to the UK as one-day-old chicks from France, and so I kind of imagine them talking with a little bit of a French accent, and they're quite bossy. So I'm not going to do an impression of them right now, but I'm sure that many of you out there could do a good impression of them. Anyway, so the two French ladies were bossing the two Orpingtons, the two gentle giants, around. And I thought, oh, maybe the Morans will give the Reds run for their money. I mean, the Reds are old ladies now, and the Morans are young and feisty. So later on, I've been watching them all day. Chicken TV the whole day. I spent a lot of oh, I spent a lot of time in the run with them as well, just changing things around a bit, creating some extra places for them to run around and jump up onto and run underneath and stuff like that. And they finally came out and started to wander around. The Orpingtons even made it all the way around to the apple tree. So all the way through some of the vegetable patch to the apple tree, and they were eating my rotten apples that had all fallen down onto the ground. I was so pleased because my original girls won't touch the apples, and there's so many of them, and they're all just going to rot and ruin. And I was really hoping that they were going to clear up my falls, and they weren't. But the Orpingtons got in there and really had a good old nibble away at them. So hopefully they'll remember that they're there and go back tomorrow for some more. The Morans, they didn't really go that far from the coop today, and they're not going to give Reds run for their money. They got bossed around by the Reds, definitely. So, but what was really interesting was that Speckles did not spend much time on her own today. She, quite a bit of the time, there was like the four new girls and the four old girls. And the four old girls were keeping quite close to each other and sort of doing their normal foraging and stuff. And the four new girls were not really leaving the coop run. So it was like I had two different flocks. And I thought, okay, all right. And then later on in the day, I had four flocks of two because I had the two Orpingtons were off doing their own thing. The two Morans were not really leaving the coop area. Had come out of the run, but they weren't really going that far. They preferred to stay under the bushes nearby. The two Reds were basically running up and down, or strutting up and down the entire length of the run, complaining or making everybody know that they were in charge. If they came anywhere near any of them, they would chase them, but most of the time they were just being very, very verbal birds, which left Big Mama, the Bluebell, and Speckles, and the two of them just seemed to partner up themselves. So Speckles, having the new ones in, didn't provide Speckles with a new friend, but what it did do is it made her family a bit closer. I think they decided that they wanted her in the flock now because it gave them greater numbers. I mean, it was still 4 and 4, but then it was 4 with two twos. So there's numbers in strength and strength in numbers even. You probably can't hear that, but the screech owl is going again outside, this time outside the front of the house, so I can hear it. Okay, I'm getting tired again now. I'm getting tired. It's 3 o'clock. So the hot sweats have slowed down. I don't think I've had one in the last 10 minutes. I might be able to get back to sleep again in a moment. So I've been watching chickens all day, and it's been enjoyable. And then, yeah, mid-afternoon I decided I was going to go down for a snooze because I was tired. And I've had nearly every night has been like this one tonight. And but maybe not with screech owls. And I can hear them outside, or it outside rather. So yeah, so I went to bed, and I fell asleep mid-afternoon in bed. And when I woke up, it had gone 7:30 in the evening. I can't believe I slept that amount of time. And one of my thoughts was, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. That was very, very quickly followed by, yeah, but you could never sleep, Tony, anyway, because you always get woken up by the hot sweats. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, then all right. Oh, I don't have to worry about it then. But yeah, I came to bed at fairly normal time, and I was asleep pretty quickly. So, and oh, hopefully I can. Hopefully I might be able to get to sleep now if I'm lucky. I think I might give it a go. So I will try and get to you as soon as possible some videos of the new girls, and so that you can see what my lady flock has turned into. And also, we should be candling the eggs. We should have really done it this weekend, but we're both a bit too nervous to do it. We don't want to find out that there aren't any, that all the eggs are duds, and because we've only had them in there a week or 8 days. This is the 8th day. But already it feels like it's been such a big effort to get this far. If we candle them and find out that there's nothing alive in any of them, that's going to be really quite upsetting. But this early on, it can be really difficult to, well, I don't know if we really know what we're doing enough to know this early on if there's life in the eggs or not. So I think we both want to leave it a bit longer until we know for sure what we're looking at, and that we can tell that there's life in the eggs. But early enough that we catch any that haven't got any life in them, as advised by the Stivers. We do not want to have a dud egg explode in our incubator. That we do not want. So we don't want to risk that. We do need to candle them to make sure that we do take out any that haven't got any life in them. But I know what will happen. We'll candle them, and then if there are any that we don't think have got any life in them, we're not going to take them out. We're going to leave them for at least a few more days before looking in again and checking and seeing if we were right or wrong. We're not going to assume that we were wrong or right. Right, there isn't any life in them, just in case we did. Oh, we made a mistake. Anyway, right. I am now going to attempt to go back to sleep again. So, if you're here in England and you're catching this now, what are you doing awake? Go back to sleep too. If you're in America and you're catching this now, yeah, I'm in bed asleep. And you're like in the middle of your day or something like that. And to anybody else, well, I will see you soon. Take care. Good night.